Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This is from James Brownley. One of the parts of the whole Warner Brothers shuffle that really is concerning to me is that they moved Shazam Fury of the Gods up against Avatar 2. I know you said WB would move Aquaman away from Avatar, but I never thought they'd move another one of their movies against it at the same time. Should we be worried about this? I mean, does this move suggest that WB doesn't have any faith in Shazam 2?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And listen, there's a larger issue to discuss here about the overall shuffling of a ton of Warner Brothers movies, but we'll get to that in just a minute. For now, we're going to focus in on one of the more surprising things to me in the announcement. As they, what was it, James who wrote that in? Mm-hmm. So as James wrote in the question, like, we expected that we were going to hear that Aquaman was going to move off of things. There was no way that they were going to let Aquaman open up against Avatar 2. There was no way they were going to do that. Now, granted, during the Christmas season, there's a lot of business to go around. And more than any other time during the year, multiple big films can open in the same neighborhood as each other and still all make money. But you don't want to open Aquaman 2 on the same day as Avatar 2 because your fish effing ass is going to get kicked. And it would have got kicked by Avatar 2. I mean, it still could have made money. So we weren't surprised to hear that they were moving Aquaman. No surprise at all. What was shocking was hearing that they were moving Shazam nigh 6 months early to put Shazam 2 up on the sacrificial chopping block against Avatar 2. First of all, I can't remember the last time I heard about a movie getting moved up 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Like, we knew it was ready. We knew the movie was ready. They're just going to open it when they're going to open it. And they decided to put it there. Now, it should be noted that Shazam 2 is not opening on the exact same day as Avatar 2, as Aquaman was. Avatar 2 is opening on December 16th. Shazam 2 has moved to December 12th, 4 days before Avatar. So it'll have a couple of days to make its money and all that kind of stuff, and then it's going to run into the wood chipper. Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant who write the following. Because this is funny. The director of the film, Sandberg, who directed Lights Out, I love him. Listen to this. Sandberg can always be counted on to respond to news pertaining to his movies, and he reacted to Shazam 2's release date change on social media. He confirmed the December premiere and playfully joked about how his film is now releasing opposite the long-awaited Avatar 2. Poor James Cameron, he wrote. Poor James Cameron must be shaking in his boots right now, he wrote. Sandberg also commented on how it's funny that Shazam 1 was a Christmas movie released in April, and Shazam 2 is a summer movie getting released at Christmas. And that came to us from the director, David F. Sandberg. Poor James Cameron, he said, must be shaking in his boots right now. Okay, so two things. One, the first Shazam, as much as I love it, before the Suicide Squad that James Gunn did, Shazam was my second favorite DCEU movie behind Man of Steel. I mean, I like it more than a lot of people do, but I was fully delighted by Shazam. I loved that movie. And David Sandberg coming out of horror with Lights Out, like one of the most iconic short horror films in the history of YouTube. Then he turned it into a major motion picture, which I thought was a ton of fun. Then he comes over into doing Shazam, which, well, who would have thought? But he did a great job with it, and I love that film. But it was not a box office monster like Aquaman was, right? So there is a big key difference between Aquaman and Shazam. So it's not like Shazam 2 was ever going to be $1 billion film anyway, no matter how much I'm looking forward to it. But to take it and to drop it into James Cameron infested waters, it suggests one of two things to me.
That's a funny image.
James
James Cameron swimming around in Avatar 2, jumping out of the water.
I mean, it either, one, denotes a level of stupidity, which, I mean, all studios act stupid sometimes, but I don't think stupidity here. Or number two, which is actually what I'm more afraid of, is this Warner Brothers, and they bring it up in the question, is this Warner Brothers saying, you know what? Yeah, we don't think this movie's going to do very well. We're looking at it. We don't think it's so good. might as well drop it in Christmas, because if we drop it at Christmas time, maybe it can make some money. If we put it a few days before Avatar, maybe it can make some money before Avatar opens, and then it'll get run into the wood chipper. There's nothing about this that makes me feel confident. And I say that as a guy that loves Shazam. That first movie. Loves it. But nothing about this screams to me confidence. I mean, if they were taking, let's say, I don't know, what's a movie we know they're confident in? Well, Flash. They're very confident in Flash. If they were taking Flash and putting it head-to-head against Avatar, it would get crushed. But it would tell me that Warner Brothers, maybe delusions of grandeur, but it would tell me that they're so confident in this movie that they're willing to put up there. I don't get that sense from Shazam 2. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is a case of the Warner Brothers execs going, oh my God, this movie is so damn good. You know what we can do? You know, it was never going to make $1 billion anyway, but it's so good. Let's move Aquaman off into 2023 and let's put Shazam up against, let's give Avatar a run for its money. I'd like to believe that's the case. I'd like to wake up surrounded by chocolates and ice cream and Jennifer Garner serving me breakfast on a tray. I would love to wake up to that reality, but it ain't reality. It's not real. So I'm afraid this points to them not being confident in Shazam. And I hope I'm wrong. Rob, you see this move by them, and we're going to talk about the bigger overall shuffle later, but the specific decision to take Shazam 2, which was safely placed a good, healthy distance away from that, and drop it right into these waters. What's your reaction to it? How do you see it?
Well, I have something to say more about this in the bigger picture, but we're going to get to that. I think, look, they took the movie that's the most family-friendly out of all of them. I mean, this is literally about the Marvel family, the Shazam family, call them that. It's family-friendly. It's at the time of the year when families are together. Between Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think is the best time to release this particular movie of everything that they had coming out. And it is, in a way, I don't know if little kids are going to dig Avatar 2 or whatever. I think they have a beloved franchise here. There's a lot of people that like the first movie, like you are one of them. I loved seeing the Marvel family, John, in the first Shazam. That was my favorite aspect of it. I thought it was great. I know that this movie is going to have the Marvel family throughout. I say Marvel family because I can't. Shazam to me is the word he says. I'm still thinking of him as Captain Marvel. I grew up with the Marvel family, you know, Mary Marvel and the ilk. But I think that that's why they made this movie. It was just a strategic film. They had a movie that was finished, that was family-friendly, that could go into the most family-friendly environment. I don't think Avatar 2 was a factor in their decision-making. I think what they needed was they couldn't move off all of their big guns out of 2023, and we'll get to that in a minute. But they had to bring something in because at the end of the year, studios are judged by their box office. And there's some shenanigans going on here, but they had to do something. And I think at the end of the year, this is based on their largest strategy. This was the best thing for them to do. Mm-hmm. And I understand why they moved it into this slot. It makes sense to me.
Chris, you're seeing this move. I mean, look, again, there are a lot of interesting, questionable things about this overall Warner Brothers shuffle.
Yeah.
But this is a really fascinating one. Taking Shazam, number one, moving it 6 months. And number two, dropping it in Avatar's front lawn.
Yeah.
And even as I read now through the live chat and our thing, I'm still astounded how many people are sleeping on what Avatar 2 is going to do.
Yeah.
So many people
are
still counting out James Cameron, completely discrediting like what the average movie going out there, how they remember Avatar. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be probably the biggest movie of the year.
I think it's been a fascinating blind spot to me for the last, since 2009 when Avatar came out. For 13 years, our community, let's call us film connoisseurs, geeks, whatever, there is this ongoing backlash against Avatar that I don't understand. And I think it goes in the same category overall as the hatred of Twilight. I think it's misplaced, and I think it doesn't have an understanding of the bigger picture. And that's why people are like, who cares about Avatar 2? I think a lot of people, you know who cares about Avatar 2? My mom.
Same.
My mom had one of the
parents love
most
the shit out of these movies.
Yeah.
or this
Oh
movie.
my God. My mother had one of the greatest times I've ever seen her. I've never seen my mother with a sense of awe and wonder in her eyes. The way she was 70 years old when we first saw Avatar. She'd never seen an IMAX 3D movie before. And after it was over, my mom turned to me. She sat through the credits. My mother never did that. She didn't sit through the credits of Raiders of the Lost Ark or Empire Strikes Back. But she sat through the credits and she turned to me with her eyes wide as saucers and said, "How did they do that?" That's what my mom said to me. She knows Avatar 2 is coming out.
You know that scene in The Dark Knight where the guy who works at Wayne Enterprises comes to Lucius Fox and says, "I know who Batman is, and you're going to give me $10 million a year." And Lucius says, "So this one of the richest, most powerful men in the world who goes out at night and beats criminals to within a bloody pulp with his bare fists. Your plan is to blackmail this guy? Good luck." That's how I kind of feel about this when I see people underestimating Avatar 2. It's like, so let me get this straight. The biggest film of all time, Avatar, the number one all-time biggest film in the history of the world, made by the guy who also, by the way, made the number 3 biggest all-time film in the history of the world. James Cameron has 2 of the top 3 box office hits of all time, and neither of them are comic book films. And that's what you're betting against? Good luck. Good luck. I don't know, Chris, you see this, the 6-month move, dropping to buy Avatar. I don't know. What's your take on this whole situation?
You know, usually Rob and I are reading out of the same book, but today we're very much on the same page. Like, I'm very in sync with Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett today, where I think they are taking that bet on that family film. I really think they're banking on it being a spectacle for all ages, not just people who are okay with the Na'vi getting freaky. You know, maybe they're worried about that happening and their kids seeing something. But I think Shazam is such a great film. I love that movie.
I'm so glad you do, because I love it too.
That is totally one of my favorite ones. I think it's so delightful. It's a film I can watch all the time. It hits all the right notes for me. I think it's just so charming, and I'm so excited to delve more into the family dynamics in this, because I love the expanded cast too. Everyone they got to play the super versions of the kids is just so great and spot on in their casting. So I'm really hoping that this is just, no, we think this is a good place for this film to be. We think this is an apples and oranges situations where even if you are very interested in Avatar, which I think most people are, chat, I think most people are, I think you'll also go see Shazam. I might just make a double feature out of it over the weekend. That's what I would want to do.
All right, so I'm trying to find this thing right now, and I'm having, here we go. Okay, so I'm just bringing this up right now. So the original Avatar, besides being the number 1 biggest film of all time, yes, bigger than Endgame, it was not only the biggest film of all time, it was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year. And it won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Visual Effects, Cinematography, Art Direction. Cameron was nominated for Best Director. It was nominated for Best Editing, stuff like that. Again, I just like, this film, this is the film we want to bet against, the sequel to that film. Now look, I do not believe that Avatar is going to be a $2 billion film. Like, unlike the first one, right? If I had to bet $5 on it, I don't think Avatar is going to be a $2 billion film, but but it could be a $2 billion film. And I don't know that there's any other movies coming out this year that I think actually have the potential to be a $2 billion film.
You know, speaking of Shazam 2, I do like that it moved closer to Black Adam. I don't know why. I just think there's going to be a lot of Shazam references in Black Adam. So having that so close to it, I think will help the movie. It's still not in a good place, it being the same month as Avatar 2, but I do like that it moved closer.
Question is for you guys. What do you think about I think this is a fascinating move that they did, moving Shazam 6 months early, which we hardly ever see done, and putting it in the same neighborhood as Avatar. It is the Christmas season. This isn't like any other time of the year. There's a lot of movie-going money to be made, a lot for a lot of different movies. Maybe that's what they're banking on, the family-friendly aspect. What do you guys think about this move? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a minute and thank a sponsor of today's video, Vuori. Now, you know, Ann and I like to work out and train several days a week, but the thing is, I want to be comfortable and not look like a slob at the same time, and I often have a hard time finding something that does both. But Vuori, everything is designed to work out in, but it doesn't look or feel like it's made to be worked out in. It is so comfortable, you will want to wear this stuff all the time. Now, you guys know I like some flexibility and versatility in the clothes that I wear, but that's where Vuori comes in. See, it can be used for just about any activity like running, training, swimming, yoga, but it's also great just for lounging around or going out on the weekends in. For example, take the men's core shorts. These are the most comfortable and one of the best looking pairs of shorts that you can own, and they're versatile. One pair of shorts for just about every sport that you can play. Or take the men's Sunday performance jogger. These pants are perfect for lounging around in or going out for a good run. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our viewers, they are offering 20% off your very first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/Campea. That's VUORI.com/Campea. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/Campea and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.